Hello to everybody. First of all, I would like to thank the government of Sri Lanka and also OFI to give us the opportunity to share with all of you the experience that Chile has go through to have an MPI index and that complements the measurement of income poverty in our country. I understand that Sri Lanka is working not only in the idea of having the MPI index, but also to having a specific measurement for childhood. Childhood for us also is we have been working among different governments, but more in this government of the idea of overcoming all the vulnerabilities of children, to design all the public policy that children need to develop themselves well and have better opportunities. In this context, also, I want to first of all explain how we designed with our MPI index, and then how we use this MPI index to measure vulnerabilities of children. We did not decide in that moment to have a specific design for an MPI index for children, but with our MPI index we can build vulnerabilities for households that live with children. That's the experience that we want to share with you. First of all, since the end of 1980s, we have been measuring our income poverty, and by the end of 2010 and probably 2011, we start to understand that Chile needs more than having only an income poverty index. That Chile needs an index that have also another vulnerabilities, and so to understand in a more comprehensive way our society. That is why President Piñera, in his first government, named a commission with people of all the sectors of our society, academy, civil society, also people that works in the government, and also specialists in terms of poverty, to begin to design this idea of not also work in a new index of income poverty, but also to complement the income poverty with this idea of measurement of vulnerabilities and other problems of the society. This commission gave their results in the beginning of 2014, and they gave the idea of having a multidimensional poverty index that was worked also by the government that was in that moment in Chile, and they work in having this index using the input of the commission as the first input, but also complemented it with the work with international statements, and also OFI that supports the design of this index. Finally, this index was born specifically with the results of the household survey of 2013, but we can have a comparative measurement since 2009. This index specifically has 5 dimensions: education, health, labor, housing, and also networks and social cohesion. And in each dimension we measure 3 deprivations. So we have 15 deprivations measured, 3 in each dimension. And as I said in the beginning, we do not have a specific index for specific groups, but with our index we can capture how our households, or how are the vulnerabilities of households that live with people in this group. For example, not only children, but also immigrants, and for example also elderly and women and groups that need a specific or special attention. Specifically in terms of vulnerabilities of children, the measurement, our index, have 2 specific deprivations that are only present in households with children. One of it is the malnutrition, which captures households where there are children that are in overweight or undernutrition, and also school attendance, which captures households that are with children that are or not going to school. But this are the preventions that involves the whole household, despite they are only located in household with children. But the MPI can measure the complete idea of having multidimensional poverty in the household. So we use this information to also capture how are the household with children or with immigrants or with old people or with women more or less vulnerable than the household that are not with those groups of the population. In that terms, we understand our results allows us to make public policy decision, because we can have the specific idea or the specific information or conclusions that, for example, for Chile, households that live with children have more serious deprivations in social security coverage, overcrowding, safety, the security of the place there where they live. So allows us to design policy attending to the household where the children live more than only specifically to children. In that terms, we still believe and we think that our experience or having one MPI index and not multiple MPI index for different groups of the population allows the country, allows the academia, allows the civil society to understand in a simple way where they have to take actions and where the country is positioned in terms of their vulnerabilities or in terms of their the preventions. They can make the analysis for specific groups, but we have one index, and we think and we are completely we think that with this index we can understand better. And we can in a more simple way the vulnerabilities that our country have. So obviously we would like to share with you more details, and please, the door is open, and you can contact us so we can study specifically the preventions and how we use the MPI national index to understand vulnerabilities, specifically vulnerabilities of specific groups. And please feel free to come to us in any terms so we can share the experience. But also we want to obviously take this instance to not forget that we are hosting the next MPPN conference in 2020 in our country. So please feel free to come. Please come, and we invite you so we can use obviously this instance to share more details of our methodology and the more important part of the story is how we use our methodology and our index to build social policy, to build and design social policy that is appropriate to overcome vulnerabilities, not only to the country in general, but also to specific groups as children. Thank you very much.